boys and girls, Miss Kathy here, bringing you another episode of Superheroes of STEAM. And today, being in March, we are still focusing on Women's History Month, and we are doing another woman. We are doing Shark Lady. So if you like sharks, you want to stay tuned for this one. I have to apologize, I don't have a lot of voice. Laryngitis, I otherwise am fine, and it's actually better today than it was yesterday. But this is as loud as I can get, so you may need to turn up your volume a little bit, and we'll hopefully make it all the way through this. So let's get started with Shark Lady, the true story of how Eugenie Clark became the ocean's most fearless scientist. By Jess Keating, illustrations by Marta Alvarez McGuinness. On the inside page, we have lots of different kinds of sharks labeled. It was Saturday, and Eugenie wanted to stay at the aquarium forever. She wanted to smell the damp, salty air and stare at the glittery rainbow of fish. She wanted to keep watching her favorite animals, the sharks. Eugenie pretended she was walking on the bottom of the sea. What would it be like to swim with her sharks, to breathe underwater with gills of her own? More than anything else, she wanted to find out. When the summer came, Eugenie's mother took her to swim at the beach in Atlantic City. Stuffing sticky gum into her ears to keep the water out, Eugenie dove down, down, down. The salt stung her eyes, but she didn't want to miss a single fish. Constellations of sea stars speckled the pebbled sand. She imagined a silvery fin standing strong on her back, slicing through the ocean current. To others, sharks were ugly and scary, but Eugenie knew they were beautiful. As she glided through the cool water, she wished everyone could see sharks through her eyes. But the sharks were only in her mind for now. Eugenie decided to learn everything she could about them. So she dove. This time into books. Whale sharks, nurse sharks, tiger sharks, lemon sharks. Eugenie wanted to know about them all. She also joined the Queens County Aquarium Society as its youngest member. Eugenie's notebooks filled with sharks. They swam in her daydreams and on the margins of her pages. At home, Eugenie's mother surprised her with an aquarium of her own. A 15-gallon tank was much too small for sharks, but Eugenie saved her allowance to buy guppies, clownfish, and coral red snails. It felt as big as an ocean in her room. Their small apartment became an aquarium, a laboratory, and a sanctuary. As she grew older, many were still telling Eugenie what to do. Forget those sharks. Be a secretary. Be a housewife. Eugenie wanted to study zoology, but some of her professors thought women weren't smart enough to be scientists or brave enough to explore the oceans, and they said sharks were mindless monsters. Eugenie knew better. Her dream was as big as a whale shark, so again, Eugenie dove. Don't think it gives us a glossary at the back of the book. Just checking. See if there's anything to define. No. Zoology would be the study of animals. She plunged into every course she could. Her laboratory became her home. From sunrise to sunset, she studied how fish grew, how they behave, and how they were put together both inside and out. Despite all of the people who didn't believe in her, Eugenie was becoming one of the smartest students in her field. Even after she earned her degree, many still doubted her. But Eugenie's work was just beginning. Eager to make discoveries of her own, Eugenie finally dove into the open ocean. In the Red Sea, Eugenie collected hundreds of fish, including 3 new species that had not been discovered before. The Red Sea sand diver, the Barrelzenia pipefish, and the volcano tripplefin. On a research mission exploring the Palau Islands, Eugenie was diving alone when she encountered her first ever wild shark. She wasn't afraid. Instead, she thought it was beautiful. In Isla Mujeres, she dispelled the myth that sharks must keep moving to stay alive. When she swam through dark caves, still and silent, full of resting sharks. Eugenie's daring heart grew bolder with each dive. Soon they began to call her Shark Lady. Eugenie had proven she was smart enough to be a scientist and brave enough to explore the oceans. As her courage grew, she began to love and understand her beloved sharks more and more. But she never forgot many still believed that sharks were mindless killers. Because of their scary reputation, humans were hunting sharks all over the world. Eugenie knew that sharks weren't stupid or mean. She was determined to prove everyone wrong. Eugenie fished through her mind and devised a brilliant experiment. Could she train a shark the way a person trains a dog? Were sharks much smarter than anyone knew? They were. Eugenie was the first scientist in the world to train sharks, and even learned they could remember their training for at least 2 months after. Sharks were not mindless killers. Sharks were beautiful. Sharks were smart. They deserved to be studied, protected, and loved. And Eugenie's dream was now a dream come true. Then it tells you a little bit about different kinds of sharks and facts about them. And a timeline of her life. She was born in 1922, and she earned a master's degree in 1946. She did get her aquarium when she was 9 years old. Her father passed away before she was even 2, so she never really knew her father. But she visited the New York Aquarium for the first time when she was 9, and that's when her mother brought her her own aquarium. And then some of the other accomplishments we read about. She did get married and have children, and she celebrated her 92nd birthday in May of 2014 by scuba diving with a group of divers in Jordan and Israel. So she's 92 years old going scuba diving. Then, actually a few years before that, she was discovered to have lung cancer and was treated with chemotherapy. 1 year after her 92nd birthday, she passed away in her home in the company of her family in 2015. So she just died a few years ago. And there's a little note from the author about why she wanted to tell the story of Eugenie. She had an incredible life, she says. She proved that little girls shouldn't give up their dreams of swimming with the sharks, and that people thought sharks were evil and dumb. On both accounts, Eugenie proved them wrong. It's especially the world can't tell us how brave we will choose to be. Eugenie's belief in protecting the Earth's species, no matter how different they are from us, is needed now more than ever, the author says. So, if I had more voice, I would read more of the notes in the back about sharks and Shark Lady. I will comment the one thing about sharks that I thought was interesting. From this page, there's probably many things, but the one that sticks out to me is sharks are very old. They first appeared over 400 million years ago, and their ancestors are still around today. They have survived 5 major extinction events, including one 65 million years ago that destroyed all the dinosaurs. But the sharks lived on, so they must be pretty smart, living through all of that. Okay, let's look at our sheet, our packet, if you had a chance to print that out. And there are many puzzles and things to do. You can go to an actual couple different sites and learn more about Eugenie and see photos of her actually in her work, which I especially like the one from the International Scuba Diving Hall of Fame on number 3, because there's videos from her life since she was so recent. And there's lots of shark puzzles to do. There's a shark word search, a shark coloring page. Okay, this was a shark secret code sheet, but I have to tell you, I could not do this code. I thought that you would just number the alphabet and then start over at the end with the numbers you didn't use yet. Doesn't work like that. I did not try this before I included it. Really, the only way to do this puzzle is if you know the answer ahead of time and can have some people maybe mark in some of the additional letters for you, or fill in the entire alphabet based on the answer. I don't know. It's very confusing. So be warned, you will need the answer sheet most likely for that one. I did include the link for it. You're welcome to try it on your own first, but I think it's going to be kind of tricky. Okay, then we had a shark word scramble with an answer. I won't show you on screen. A shark maze. A shark word tiles you have to put together to arrange a secret message, the way the end of one butts up against another. I did not personally try that, but I did include the answer sheet, so I'm assuming that it works. There is a short crossword puzzle. And then, oops, answer for that too. Then there was a sharp craft to make. I have to tell you, I thought this looked really cute. It was a little trickier than I was originally led to believe. I did include pictures along each step, so hopefully they'll help you through it. This is how mine turned out. Still cute, but I changed some things over what they said because I was frankly confused. So I left my toilet paper tube in there the whole way. They talked about cutting in half and putting half back in or something. I didn't see the purpose of that. I just left it in there. And I was not able to staple the paper to the tube. I did that, making the cone. I was not able to get the cone stapled. I ended up using tape on the cone shape for the tail, and then I couldn't get it to fit nicely inside the tube. I put it on the outside and taped it down and used some glue, I think, as well. So that part got a little tricky. It did also not give you sizes to make the fit on top and the ones on the side, so you just kind of have to eyeball that, or the one on the end. Turns out cute, but it was a little tricky, and you might need some adult help, especially with the cutting through the cardboard tube. But hopefully you'll be able to make something out of that and have a fun shark to play with. And I think that was it for the activities from Shark Lady. We have tons of books about sharks at Shaler's North Hills Library. If you want to come in and personally check out those books about sharks or anything else, you may do so. They are open 6 days a week. Just check the website for the hours. If you'd rather not, you're still watching because of germs and all the stuff going on, that's fine. You can request some from us and we'll be happy to pick them out, and you can pick them up at our pickup window. So come in and see us. I hope you watch for future episodes of Superheroes of Steam, and I will see you back here shortly. Thanks for watching tonight. Have a great week. See you soon. This has been Miss Kathy. Bye.